happy Halloween.
Yeah, we're experiencing some spooky Halloween technical difficulties today, so we're a few minutes late. So sorry.
So if you've seen our first,
if you've tuned in to the first two videos,
welcome back.
We don't know. We don't know. So I guess we'll start again with introductions. We'll start fresh.
Yes, we'll start from the top.
Okay, so we have a special guest with us today, so we should probably let you introduce yourself first.
Hi, my name's Deborah Gurt. I am assistant librarian and processing digital archivist in the McCall library, which is hidden away on the third floor of the Marx library.
Yes. Ooh. Okay, so Frank is with us. Okay, so Frank Ard is with us, so at least we know we're working.
We're here.
We're here today. So hey, Frank. That's for you. All right, and so that's Frankenstein, and I'm about to tell you, Frank. Okay, so my name is Beth Shepherd, and I am the Arts and Humanities librarian here at the Marx Library.
And which
extraordinaire
yes.
today, right? I normally don't dress like this, although it could be confusing because I always wear black. So.
It's true. The only difference I see is the hat
and overly done makeup. I mean, normally don't look like this. Thanks, Stephanie.
I didn't say there's anything wrong.
All right, and
I am
my usual co-host,
Stephanie Evers-Ard. I am the social sciences librarian. Today I am the steampunk social sciences librarian.
Yeah, let's get it
here at the Marx Library.
I keep my peripheral vision keeps getting
yeah, the veils are weird.
With the veil, I keep thinking there's somebody over there, and I'm like,
I had a veil on this one. I took it off.
I had mine flipped around to the back.
Oh, look,
For
see,
style.
For style purposes.
Classy.
Nice. Okay.
And we are giving away a prize, and we will actually choose someone.
Yeah, oh my God,
week.
we're so bad about that. Like, we're awful.
So ask a question, leave a comment, say hello, say happy Halloween.
What's in the box? Is it a surprise box?
No, it's not a surprise.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I guess it could be, but
no,
it's got some cool
we
Halloween
don't do
goodies in
surprises
it.
around here.
It has all kinds of chocolate, including special
The best
dark
kind.
chocolate.
Because it's a dark day.
It is a dark day. It has a little jack-o'-lantern notepad with probably 7 pages that you can use to take notes on.
Very abbreviated notes.
Very abbreviated notes. And very cool bookmark.
Oh, look at that. Fun Halloween-y stuff.
And my favorite is a bouncy ball with a bat on it.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it's great. They bounce really high, too. I've heard.
I mean, I haven't done it or anything. So today for Halloween, we thought we would do kind of a special treat for us. First off, we have a guest, which is new. You guys don't have to look at us again. And also, we thought we would talk about kind of the theme of I Read Dead People and talk a little bit about the archives and kind of what they are. I think a lot of students aren't even aware that you guys are up there.
Right.
So maybe what y'all are, and then we could talk a little bit about what
kinds of things you have.
Yeah, and how to best use you guys, because you're all a little bit different use-wise than us.
We are. Well, I'll just talk briefly about what we have upstairs tucked away on the third floor of the Marx Library. Mostly we have lots of photographs. We have 1.2 million negatives.
Whoa.
That's a lot of negatives.
We have a lot of negatives. Some really,
I need some positives.
You're so right. You are so right.
Joke.
We have lots of photographs from lots of different collections. It's not just one collection. It's many, many separate collections, all with different themes, covering different time periods, mostly covering Mobile, the Mobile area, also different parts of Alabama and things related to the university. That's our major kind of collecting scope.
Okay, cool.
So photographs, number one.
Lots of photos.
Lots of photos.
Okay.
What are some of your favorite photographs?
Well, that's tricky. I love the portraits.
Mm-hmm.
We have 150,000 portraits, and it's really interesting to look. Some of them are made on glass, going back to like the 1890s.
Fancy. What are those called?
Glass plate negative.
That's it. That's what they're called.
That's the technical term.
Yeah.
Some of them are really neat. They're sort of washed with platinum, and they have a real sheen to them, and they make just gorgeous, gorgeous photographs.
I saw this really cool history presentation downtown of this girl who did her master's thesis here, and she did it on the red light district in Mobile, and she used the Overby collection, collection
Yeah.
to find photos of the madams. And so she was able to show, like, because they apparently, they were wealthy, so they were, had portraits taken by this person. And so we were like, ooh, that's the madam. She looks scandalous.
That's interesting. I didn't realize we had that.
Yes, they're very cool. Okay.
What a great project.
I know. I was very jealous. I was like, why did I think of that? So photos.
Okay, so photos, part number 1. We also have manuscripts, and manuscripts basically means stuff people wrote. It can be handwritten, it can be typed, it can be letters, it can be collections of papers that people produced in the course of their work. And we have a lot of manuscript collections, again, covering a really wide variety of topics. So lots of fun manuscripts. And the third thing that we have are records pertaining to the university. Since it was founded in 1963.
Snooze.
Well, didn't we go to archives to find out about the origin of Southpaw?
Well, not the origin of Southpaw, but we had to go to the archives to find out if Southpaw was married to Miss Paula or they were siblings.
That's a serious question.
Because they wanted to marry him up, but we can't marry siblings because that's Faulknerian all of a sudden.
No, that's
so
strange, yeah.
we can't
so
do
we had
that.
to track down the origin of Miss Paula then. Was she his sister?
And no, she's not his sister.
No.
They are not related. They are together.
They're a couple.
Yeah, so so maybe not quite the snooze that it could be.
No, some cool stuff.
Some cool stuff.
Well, I think Deborah might think there's some cool stuff.
There's definitely some interesting things. Definitely.
So when you say, so manuscripts, and you're talking about like correspondence, right? So lots of letters.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because I do know we have a history faculty member who Civil War historian. And so I think he's often up there in the letters, right?
Yeah. So one of the kind of cornerstones of our collections is the McCall papers. And the McCall collection is actually a collection of collections.
Ooh, it's meta.
Yeah, it's a meta collection. But within it there's lots of really interesting correspondence from the period of the Civil War, preceding, through, and after. And it's just really interesting for history buffs and folks who are into that.
Yeah.
It tells you a lot about what life was like, what people were thinking about, how they spoke to each other, and that kind of thing.
Neatos.
Very, very fun stuff.
Okay, anything else we think they should know that you guys have that's super special?
Well, I didn't get through all 4 of my things. I think I only got
sorry,
to
we
3
stopped
of them.
you. Sorry, we got
cut her off.
So I think we stopped at university records. We
Yes.
also have some city records, which are great for people who do genealogy. So like divorce cases and all that kind of stuff.
We went negative real fast.
Yeah, we did. Okay. But then the last thing is really cool, and it may be my favorite. We have a lot of rare books. And these are just really unique, old, kind of one of a kind, or just really, really rare.
So example.
They're called rare books. Example. I'm not good at examples, but
they're there.
I got a whole cart full of foreign language books and just really beautiful editions. Just really kind of off the beaten path kinds of material.
So obviously stuff that you wouldn't want to keep on our like normal stacked shelves, right? And so that may take us into the next thing we kind of want to talk about, which is
so they can't just go and pull them off the shelf.
So talk to us a little bit about how you guys
how do people use the collection?
an archive? Yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, you have to come upstairs between the hours of 8 and 12 or 1 and 5, Monday through Friday.
They get a lunch break.
We have to feed our archivists, I guess.
Thank God.
We can throw them some fish heads, but we actually let them eat. So, right, come in during those hours, or call and make an appointment. We love it when people make appointments because there are only 3 of us up there. So sometimes, if it gets too busy all at once. Anyway,
rather than a line of freshman composition students coming in all at once. I've heard rumors.
Oh, goodness.
So call us, make an appointment, or email, whatever.
Just
let us know you're coming and what you're interested in.
Right, because because you guys know the collections really well, right? So like if a student has a research interest and they get in touch with you guys, y'all can kind of think ahead of time what may be of interest to them,
Yes,
right?
we
Okay.
can.
So
We
that
can
helps
look-
facilitate kind of their searching too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you have what they're going to be looking for.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't. And I hate to tell people, sorry, we don't have anything. It happens occasionally, but not a lot. So if students know kind of what they're interested in and they have a kind of general idea, we can often help point them in the direction.
If you guys
of,
give them a heads up, so give them a heads up.
Yes,
You're coming.
Yes.
Okay, and so once they make an appointment, but that's what they're going to do. They're not going to just show up. They're going to make an appointment. What happens then?
Well,
The stop and frisk.
yes.
Okay.
Yes. No, we will ask you to put your bag in a locker and make sure you have no pens.
And then you give a blood
On you.
sample.
Yeah,
No,
we-
not really.
No.
Although it kind of feels like it.
But there's a reason for that. It's
Well, it's those rare books, right?
They're
Yeah.
valuable.
And all those manuscripts, they're only one of a kind,
That's
right?
right.
And
So-
many of them are fragile too.
So
Okay.
You don't want to get ink or anything, food. any
So
kind of
no
stuff.
food, no ink. Put your bag away.
Wash
And
your
then-
hands.
Yeah.
Don't come with your peanut butter all smeared on your hands. It's like a jelly donut. You're like,
I'm here to look at
I'm
more
here to look at
products.
those unique manuscripts. I mean, like, that's gonna be bad. Deborah, you're gonna be like,
Well, they might not open the door because you
yeah,
have
it's
to,
true. They're just gonna be
Yeah.
like, we don't see you.
Yeah.
'cause when you go up there, you do have to ring a doorbell.
Yes, the door is locked. So-
For those security purposes, right? Okay.
But we will let you in, and if you tell us
If
what
you're
you're
not
interested
covered in
in,
jelly donut.
we will go to the back to our caverns, and we will get whatever it is that might have information that is of interest to you, and we'll bring it out, and you will look through it and learn stuff.
Yeah. So very different from like they have a closed stacks versus our open stacks, right? So like we encourage you guys. Actually, we won't even go get stuff for you. That's on your own. You do it. But
Unless you can't find it.
well, right. But for the most part, we want you to do it. But they're closed. Again, kind of those security concerns, right?
Right.
They want to make sure that they know what's out and then make sure that it all goes back,
So
right?
you can't go in there and browse.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You can browse in our reading room. We
Ah.
have this really cool reading room, so do come upstairs
It's
and check
nice
it out.
wood paneling.
It's
Mhm.
beautifully done.
It's way fancier than our spaces.
It's really
It
nice.
is.
Fancy.
But in the reading room, we have lots of books that you can just kind of browse. They're mostly to do with Mobile history. So if that's of interest to you, come and look. But we also have a row of boxes of prints of our photograph collection. It's not the whole 1.2 million samples, exactly.
Greatest hits.
Greatest hits. And they're all wrapped in acetate, so you can actually pick them up and touch them and we won't freak out. So come upstairs and check out our
We will
photographs.
start sweating
We-
profusely, like, oh guys,
We
don't
call
touch
it the
it.
fingerprint files because you're allowed to handle them with your.
Oh, that's
Oh.
fun. I just learned something.
Yeah, I did too.
That's cool.
So, and they're arranged thematically. So if you want to look at pictures about Mardi Gras or pictures about the beach or
Oh,
any kind of lots of other things too.
neat. Okay, so you have the reading room, and then, so let's say I made an appointment and I had some letters pulled from a collection. What happens then? You guys bring them out to me, and then I just like rifle through them and stick them all back in a box, and then y'all take them away? I mean, like,
Not exactly. We'll give you one folder at a time.
see? Okay.
And you can take notes in pencil on your paper about what you're reading. And then you'll put them back carefully into the folder and hand me the folder and I'll put it away and I'll bring you another folder.
That's what I was hoping you'd tell them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you can't rifle through it,
No
but
rifling.
I mean, yeah.
We don't allow rifling.
No rifling. No, like, no licking your hand and then shuffling through the pages. It's like,
We will make you wear gloves.
let me just dog ear this one. So, yeah, none of that. Briefly, so we talked about no browsing in the closed stacks, right? So how would, let's say, a student know what you guys have?
A good question. A couple of different ways. One, we have a website which has a lot of information about our collections on it.
We'll put it in the comments.
Yeah. So it's in here somewhere. But you
Yeah,
guys
we'll
will-
put it. We'll drop it in the
we'll give it
comments.
to
We'll
them.
link it. We're good at that now.
Excellent.
We
So,
figured it
We
out.
figured it out.
not all of our, so there's a thing called a finding aid.
Ooh, things are getting real.
Things are getting real here. Okay, so finding aids are basically just descriptions of a collection. So for every collection that we have, it's got a little finding aid which tells us what's in it and what it's about and
The major players, like who?
major
Okay.
players, points of interest, topics of interest. So that's kind of how we navigate our collections.
So where do students find these finding aids?
Well, some of them are on the website.
Cool.
Not all of them. Many of them are not available to the public. They have to come through us.
So again, that like letting the archivist know you're coming, she can
Yes.
suggest
Yes.
what collections might be of interest to you.
Yeah, and most of the finding aids we can pull for you on site. So if you come up and it's a finding aid that's not available on the website, if you come in, we can actually show you a paper copy and you can look at it and see if there's...
So then you go like, oh, I need letter 19 in box 5 or whatever.
Exactly.
So you're not like pulling all the boxes trying to figure out what you're looking for, right? See, archives are fun.
Kind of organized.
Yeah.
Okay, so you help students. What do you do when you're not helping students? I know you probably don't just sit around and read.
She
old
just
books.
rifles, she
Mhm.
licks through the pages like, ugh.
making origami.
Yeah,
out
because
of
your
it.
title is processing archivist. So what does that mean exactly?
Okay. Well, when people donate collections to the archives, they have to get processed or organized.
You mean they don't just magically appear in those boxes?
I wish they did. I
My
wish
job
they
would be a whole
did.
lot easier.
Yeah, so we intake collections from generous donors who give us their stuff, and we organize it so that it's usable for students and faculty and people who are interested. So I do some processing, and I also do some research, and I help patrons who come in, and I do read books. I read dead people.
You read dead people, right? Yeah. So processing, you just mean like you organize it, you create the finding aid,
Yes.
you put it in the folders,
Yep.
you make sure it's preserved.
That's right. So we take out rusty old staples and things that are in it that might damage it over the long term. We put it in archival materials, in folders and boxes and that sort of thing. And yeah.
I think you were minimizing a little bit. the
I
kind of hard work that
know.
you do.
I'm like, there's so much work in
Taking
it.
out
I
rusty,
took an archives class in grad school. There's way more work
There's a
involved.
lot of work involved. Yeah.
A lot of work involved.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's interesting to think about it kind of in comparison to our, like when I say our, I mean like the general collection at
Right.
the Marx Library, right? So we have a totally different approach to collections than you guys do, right? So we're like,
If it's got a rusty staple in it, I'd throw it away.
yeah, no, I
Yeah.
just get rid of it. Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
that's one of the really cool things about archives that differentiates it from the rest of the library is that the content that we have is unique.
Mm.
It's not like books where there are giant
just buy
print
another
runs.
copy. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. So they're entirely unique collections, and so you have to really take care of them.
Yeah, because they're
So-
irreplaceable,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
That's the fancy thing is that they're so okay. So when you say take care of them, they're irreplaceable. What do you guys do? Like, are y'all doing anything like digital preserve? Like, how does that work, right? Because I mean, like, how do we make it available and preserve it and all that stuff?
Well, right now the only thing that we're focusing on for digital preservation is our photographs. So we're digitizing.
'Cause those
the
are like
negatives. They
kind
are.
of fragile, right?
They are,
Okay.
and they deteriorate quickly, and some of them are highly flammable.
Ooh.
So the fire marshal likes us to digitize them and get rid of the negatives.
Aren't they like the ones that like will burn underwater?
Yeah, they'll just explode.
Yeah, they like
Whoa.
self-ignite.
Yeah.
Nitrate negatives, right?
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so if you guys are, I might throw a video of nitrate negatives burning underwater in the cap. It's pretty cool. Like that's what happened to like a Hollywood studio a couple years ago. Is their entire vault
That's right.
like burned all those old photos, and they're deteriorate really easily, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, the fire marshal's like, please don't. We don't want the place to burn because all of our like kindling, which is the rest of the library, will just go
Yes.
up. Like,
That's the thing about a library.
it's
It's
all
mostly kindling. Yeah.
yes. So we don't want that to happen. So that's what you guys are focusing on now is digitizing those.
We're digitizing mostly the photographs, and yeah,
So what happens to the nitrate negatives when you get rid of them? They just go away forever?
yeah. They do.
But
But we have digital masters that we can
I'm not sad
use
about
and
it. Sort of.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, it's kind of cool, but as long as they're preserved in some way, right?
Right.
So digitally or whatever. And then that's a big part of y'all's job, right? I mean, you're minimizing again, but the idea
It's
of like,
part of your title.
yeah, but also like
Yeah.
managing like format, right? So like you got to make sure that while you digitize it, that it's still usable later too, right? So it's like a huge deal. It's a big deal. Don't minimize. That's a big deal. She's preserving our like
Preserve.
historical record. It's kind of a big deal. So Stephanie, what else do we want to talk about? Archives. Anything you in your that we should know about anything? If a student is totally like archive novice, never seen one, never heard of one.
Yeah, how would you recommend a student who might want to start using the collection? Like, what kinds of projects would this be? Would
Yeah,
they be
that's a
most
good
useful
question.
for?
That's a really good question. So lots of different kinds of people might be interested in using our collection. So obviously history students are kind of,
like my folks.
that's our
That's
big
easy one.
audience. That's an easy one.
Mhm.
But, people who are interested in the political development of the state of Alabama, politics, economics.
Your people.
My people, that's right.
Women's suffrage. We have collections on many topics.
I can imagine even like so the university collections, like people that are like higher education folks, like the history of higher
Definitely.
education.
Definitely.
Oh, that's a really good point.
Yeah, like how approaches to higher education have changed. I imagine education folks might be interested in that. So lots
Yep.
of stuffs.
Yep.
Civil
Oh,
rights.
we have a.
Ooh, we have a collection. We have a question.
How can you get a print of a photograph in the archive?
I think someone has heard that happens. Maybe.
It does happen. So again, you just come in or call or email. And if you know which photograph, that's easy. You can call or email and we can make prints. We sell digital prints just as a way to kind of keep the doors open.
Instead of bake sales, it makes a whole lot more sense than a bake sale.
Yeah.
Those are pretty cool though. So like you go into like doctor's offices around town, or like
Mhm.
my like lady who does my hair, she has like really cool. And I'm always like, oh, that's from the McCall.
That's right, yeah.
That's from my
That's
people
right.
over there.
You will see them around town because a lot of people do recognize that they're valuable and beautiful and
Very
unique
cool.
and
Yeah.
very cool.
I think a lot of seafood restaurants have like
Yeah.
And I'm always like, oh,
Definitely.
another one.
So we can make prints, digital reproductions of some of our images, and if you want to buy them, you can buy them.
So yeah. So another little sad service that they
Yes.
provide, right? I keep meaning to go up there and just browse through the collections, but I'm always like, oh, I don't have the time. But I just think it'd be fun to go through and see like what's there. I don't know, kind of fun through the fingerprint file.
Yes, the fingerprint files.
Anything else?
Is there anything else you'd like to?
Yeah, because we're running up on 25 minutes, 23 minutes. But is
Um,
there anything that you think students should know that they don't know? Like you're like, dear God, I wish they would know this thing.
Well, I can't really think of anything.
All
but,
right.
But come and see us, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So takeaways, right? There's an archive upstairs.
That's a big one. Third floor. It's on the third floor.
Third
Because they don't know where we're
back
at, maybe.
there.
So.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So upstairs, one more floor from us, the third floor.
Yeah.
It's composed of unique materials, right? So
Yes.
because of its uniqueness,
Mhm.
it's a different kind of process for using it, right?
Yes, it's a
That's
different
right.
experience than when you come into the parts of the library you're used to using.
Yeah. So if you're gonna plan on using it, make an appointment, right?
Make an
Just-
appointment, call. I mean, we take walk-ins, so you can do that too. We won't turn you away.
Yeah, but
we like it when people
and
make an appointment.
maximize your time, right?
Yeah.
So instead of
Absolutely.
trying to figure out what you might need, and
That's right.
You
and
can
we can
maximize
pull
time.
stuff in advance if you really know what you want, and then have it all ready for you when you come in.
that sounds like y'all are gonna start. People are gonna start coming to y'all instead of us, because like we're like, no, we're not gonna pull stuff for you. Like that's your own job. Okay, so we'll drop y'all's direct phone number
Mhm.
into the
Yes.
comments, so that and your email as well and your
And
website.
the website,
Yes.
yeah. And we're also on Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr and.
Oh, okay.
all
So
that good stuff.
give us their social media spiel.
Y'all
are at-
We are at McCall Lib, two C's and three L's, MCCALLLIB. at McCall Lib.
Wow. We'll
Yeah.
put that in the
We'll put it down there,
comments
too.
because I'm
Yeah.
confused. Okay.
She sees 3 L's.
So you
What's
guys
hard
are
about that?
whatever. So you guys are on Facebook?
Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr. Yes.
Ooh, Tumblr.
Tumblr. Wow, you guys are fancy.
Yeah.
All right, so we will put all their social media jazz in the comments so you guys can follow them too. Because you guys post some cool stuff too, like photos.
They
and
do.
stuff.
They
yeah.
post photos all the
I try
time.
and put
Yeah.
up a photo every day.
You've
Yeah.
been posting some cool stuff for Halloween.
For Halloween, a photo. And you say like, yeah, we put up some stuff. A photo a day.
A photo a day.
That's every day.
Some really cool and some kind of creepy pictures
Yes.
from Halloween in Mobile. It's cool. Some
I
cool
like
stuff.
the one that you guys are doing outside of the classroom upstairs too. The photos. That's
Oh,
really
the
cool.
Panorama.
slideshow.
The
Yeah.
panorama, yeah.
Oh, no, no.
Oh, well, I was
No,
talking about the
oh.
slideshow, but to talk about the panorama so fast.
Okay, so we have an exhibit case on the 3rd floor outside the McCall Library, and right now there's an exhibit of Eric Overby's panoramas, which are the really long pictures that he took back in the 30s, 20s. I'm not sure exactly when he took them all, but they're really neat to look at.
Yeah, they're like I'm trying to think of the one. It's like a panorama, but it's like a skyline. So it's like on a.
Yeah,
it's
there's
very neat.
There's
Yeah,
and the one with all the women in their swimsuits.
Yeah,
that one's great.
that's
Yeah.
off an island. That's fun.
Yeah.
too. Yeah. So go up, check it out. There's always and that exhibit changes, right?
Yes.
So you like do
Yes.
new.
I
cool
try to
exhibits.
do new exhibits every 3 months.
Yeah, there's always something cool up there.
Always. So go check it out. Go see what's up there. And give you a sample of what's hiding behind
That's
the
right.
wall that is the archives, right? Okay, guys. Okay, so that's your social media jazz. We'll throw all that in there. And then, of course,
You gotta
At-
follow us.
follow us. We don't post a photo a day of old stuff. We post
No.
other cool stuff all the time. And so if you don't like us, already like us up there.
Yes.
You can go back and look at our other videos, Facebook Lives that we've
Mm-hmm.
done in the past. And, okay, Stephanie does this way better than I do. So
Okay,
go
we are
ahead.
on Twitter at USA_library, and we are on Instagram at marks.library, and we now have a YouTube channel,
What?
which is Marks Library Live, which will be the home to all of these videos.
We have a YouTube. I'm gonna be YouTube famous.
Oh yeah, we got a YouTube
We're
channel.
gonna be YouTube famous.
So if you want to go back and watch them, he's actually very excited about the videos. It's hard to tell.
I'm excited about the videos.
So you can watch them on Facebook, but you'll also be able to see them on YouTube as well.
Yeah. Okay. So next week, we're gonna finally talk about interlibrary loan, and we'll be joined by our interlibrary loan coordinator.
So it's something to look forward
So
to.
something to look forward to. Another special guest.
Yes.
So thank you, Deborah, for coming
Yes,
on.
thank you,
Yay!
Deborah.
Thank you for joining us for Halloween. I'm super excited that it's finally Halloween.
So go up there, read some dead people.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Read
Lots
some
of dead people.
Lots of dead people in the archives. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in.
All right, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.